The verbal linguistic contortionist and erudite verbal acrobat, known as Destiny, recently talked about his possible upcoming debate with Tristan Tate. Destiny traverses the labyrinthine corridors of logic about the possible confrontational nature of Tristan Tate. Let's see what Destiny had to say and elucidate from there with further analysis.
I have 11 million.
They put it in hedge funds.
They put it in hedge funds. I got 11 million, right? Let me tell you something. My life would be exactly the same if I had 5 million. So if I had to lose 6 million to destroy Wall Street, I'm ready to go. Come on, these people on Reddit are geniuses. This is the most fun I've had in years. This is why, though. This is why. These hedge fund cunts, I've been around them. Most of you guys watch this haven't been around these kind of people. I've been around these kind of people when I was kickboxing world champion, or when I was buying my Bugatti, or when I was hanging out in Monaco. I've been around these people. They're the worst people on earth. They're rude to staff. They have no respect for anybody. And they have no talent. They don't make money. They just have a of money, and they manipulate markets to make their little go up with other people's money, and they get bailed out by the government anyway. They're complete dickheads with no skill. When this wakes up and his 13 billion 13 billion has vanished from the stock market and gone to Redditors. Fucking Redditors.
Is Tate right?
What's the problem with millionaires nowadays? They're such pussies.
I don't think I'm pretty sure they're memeing in half these videos, okay? Wasn't there a whole video that you put out about how you shouldn't save money because it's better just spend it all now? I'm pretty sure in half these videos, these guys are like memeing.
I have 11 million.
They put it in hedge funds.
They put it in hedge funds. I got 11 million, right? Let me tell you something. My life would be exactly the same if I had 5 million. So if I had to lose 6 million to destroy Wall Street, I'm ready to go.
He responded, yeah, him. We'll see what he says. But now the problem is he had that little virtue signal fest about 9/11, the war in Iraq. So now I'm worried he's going to want to debate whether or not we should have gone to Iraq or not, which is probably something I agree with, but he's too stupid to read my initial tweet where I'm saying that, like, if you want to say that, like, the war in Iraq was wrong, if you want to condemn the U.S. for past actions, that's fine. But saying things like war crimes and war criminals and they should be prosecuted for what? Under whose jurisdiction? For what crime? Like, if you want to talk about the legality of something, address the legality of it. Give me a jurisdiction, give me a crime or a statute that was broken, and give me how they should be, charged. But, like, there's a difference between saying they're war criminals versus the U.S. did actions that we think were morally condemnable. Those are two different things. Like, people are like, Biden's a war criminal because we killed civilians and accidental drone attacks. That doesn't make you a war. That's not a war crime, right? There's like so much more that goes into it than that. But we'll see. I him because apparently he's super anti-U.S. involvement in the Ukrainian-Russian war. I think that would be an interesting topic. We'll see if he's interested in that. But now I feel like he's just going on a debate because he thinks I'm like pro like Iraq war or some shit. But we'll see. Who is it that's just joined? Nobody joined. What are you talking about? Play Mass Effect. Are you still watching the 3-hour FNAF movie? I have to watch the FNAF movie because Nathan's going to want to watch it. What if you did a bunch of research conclusions that actually did have WMDs in Iraq? I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but one of the issues with the Iraqi invasion, wasn't it true that Saddam Hussein wouldn't let inspectors into the country to actually check his facilities? I thought that was part of the reason why Bush was able to get away with saying they do have WMDs. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember. But I feel like that was a thing. But I would have to go back and check. But I mean, in 96, Saddam Hussein did use chemical weapons against the Kurdish people. And I don't remember if he used them in the... I think that was in the Iran-Iraq war. In 96, I think it was. So, I mean, like, it's not like he didn't have them. Wait, let me check. Hold on. Get my dates right. The Halabja massacre was in 88. No, wait, 10 years earlier than that. And then the Iraq War was from 80 to 88. Oh, wait, I'm like a decade off right now.
3, 2, 1, Obama.
The invasion of Kuwait was like 90, right? Invasion of Kuwait. Just let me f my spelling up. What was 1990? Did they use them in against Iraq's use of chemical weapons? Oh, okay, they did use them in the Iran-Iraq War as well. Iran had suffered more than 50,000 casualties from Iraq's use of several chemical weapons, though current estimates were 100,000 due to long-term effects due to cost. So it wasn't like the most crazy thing in the world to assume that Iran had them, but I'm pretty sure most of our intelligence pointed at the time towards them not having active WMDs. That's my assumption. Has anyone considered just creating a country for Kurds so they stop getting f***ed with? Kurdish people looking at Israel like, what? Wait, is Israel against Kurdistan? No, but I mean, like, Israel was a country created because Jewish people all over the world, for a variety of reasons, they felt like they wanted a place to call home.
Destiny, why don't you take positions on manifold markets after debates? It shows people what you think, plus keeps a track record. Take guilty. USA politics. Ukraine hold borders.
Okay.
Trump indictments, etc.
But I mean, like, Kurdish people are kind of scattered around the Middle East as well, right? There are Kurdish people in Syria, Turkey, and Iraq, I think, are the three big groups. They probably want like a little country too. But obviously none of the people in the Middle East want them to have their own country. They have like an autonomous region in Iraq. I think they exist in some fashion in Southeast Turkey and some fashion in Northeast Syria. But like nobody really likes them. I don't understand what this pixie...
Ladies and gentlemen, intellectual voyagers and etymological contortionists, allow me to cast a luminous spotlight upon the intricate colloquy between Destiny and Tristan Tate, a discourse that traverses the labyrinthine corridors of the Iraq War debate. Destiny, a pontificator of digital dominion, raises his scepter of concern regarding Tristan Tate's yearning for a tete-a-tete on the vexatious topic of the Iraq War. Destiny, in his indubitably sagacious manner, implies a proclivity towards agreement with the contention that the war was fraught with the whiff of errancy. However, with the precision of a linguistic sniper, he deftly fires volleys of criticism towards Tate's utilization of terms such as war crimes and war criminals, sans the requisite geographic jurisprudential coordinates or meticulously delineated infractions. Destiny, in his synaptically symphonic discourse, segregates the dualistic demarcation betwixt censuring actions and affixing the ignominious brand of war criminal upon individuals. A virtuoso of verbiage, Destiny alludes to the tragic incident of inadvertent civilian demises as not qualifying for the scalding indictment of war crimes. He bespeaks of the lustrous chalice of jurisprudential exegesis, wherein the mercurial brew of intent mingles with the somber symphony of collateral damage. In his colloquy, Destiny pirouettes towards the Ukrainian-Russian imbroglio, like a cerebral matador parrying misconceptions. He conjectures that Tate might conjure the presumption that he is a proponent of the Iraq War, a cognitive escapade he vehemently repudiates. The paracosm of their dialogue briefly saunters through celluloid realms, reminiscent of the escapist intoxication found in cinematic alchemy. Destiny dons the robe of historiographical inquiry, probing the enigma of Iraq's weapons of mass destruction. He gazes back in chronicles, recounting the epoch of Saddam Hussein's alchemical dalliances with chemical warfare. He raises the historical specter of chemical weapons wielded during the Iran-Iraq conflagration and the transgressions of the Kuwaiti sojourn. He acknowledges the realm of rationality that hinted at Iraq's possession of WMDs, yet proclaims that the archives of intelligence mostly bespeak the lacuna of active weapons. The dialogue's narrative carriage embarks on a pilgrimage towards the terre firma of Kurdish aspirations. Destiny adroitly forges parallels between the pantheon of polities, exemplifying the establishment of Israel as a dwelling for the diaspora of Judaism. His lexicon weaves a tapestry of diasporic aspirations, a symphony of self-determination bedecked with the Kurdish identity. Destiny solemnly acknowledges the dispersion of the Kurdish populace across Middle Eastern constellations and their Sisyphean struggle against adversarial currents in pursuit of sovereign sanctum. Let's not also forget these maestros of mullah manipulation, also known as hedge fund managers. These capricious commanders of capital conundrums have found themselves under the unsparing scrutiny of verbal fusillades. With a gust of verbal winds, these critics have conjured caricatures of hedge fund managers as impolite interlocutors, bereft of benevolence and drenched in the deluge of discourtesy. These verbal virtuosos, these pundits of pessimism, paint portraits of these money mavens as masters of mendacity, twiddling their financial thumbs in the hallowed halls of manipulation. They, the critics, assert with resonant resolve that these shepherds of the fiscal flock navigate the labyrinthine alleys of the market with a paucity of talent, like troubadours bereft of tune. Their symphony, they suggest, is a symphony of subterfuge, a cacophony of cunning crafted with the currency of other people's dreams. And oh, what an encore they receive from the critics' oratory orchestra. The crescendo of criticism climbs, casting its skeptical shadow over these market minstrels who wield the wand of fiscal alchemy with a dash of chicanery. The critics assert that their financial machinations are like the strings of a puppeteer, with markets dancing in their grasp. And when their conjurations veer astray, when their financial forays falter, who do they summon? The government, the mighty bailers out, with their monetary safety nets woven from the threads of taxpayers' sweat and toil. Yet, my esteemed wordsmiths, let us not delve solely into the labyrinthine lexicon of censure. For every shadow must have its glint of light, every discourse its dualism. While the critics play their melancholic tunes, let us not ignore the conundrum's contrapuntal cadence. These hedge fund titans, with all their enigmatic entrancement, do steer the ship of financial enterprise into the turbulent tides of risk. Theirs is a world of quantitative enigma and arcane algorithms, a realm where fortunes are made or vaporized with the whim of a data point. In culmination, the dialectic choreography between Destiny and Tate unveils the intellectual legerdemain that etches the contours of the Iraq War dialogue. Destiny, the Da Vinci of diction, spurns the facile euphony of epithets like war crimes, underscoring the nuance of culpability. He beckons towards the Ukrainian horizon, seeking the compass of comprehension. And in the shadow of historical phantoms, he tenderly acknowledges the yearning of the Kurdish populace, crafting eloquent parallels with the annals of diaspora. This oratorical ballet, with its multifaceted movements, leaves an indelible imprint upon the cognitive stage, resonating like an etymological sonnet of discernment.